Welcome to some new r/petty revenge stories, where people share stories of small victories over those that wronged them. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called A Parting Gift. I've been transferred to a team with bad statistics, bad workflow, attitude, bad everything. It came to the point that when I said to a colleague, please get back to work, there's a backlog, it blew into a fight about how I am a princess who thinks is better than the rest. I had trouble blending in with this team. I work and I don't mind it. I hate nagging and complaining. Don't like your job? Okay, cool that you let me know, but you're in here at your own wish. Besides, one time is enough. After a year and a half of arguments, attempts to tell HR how I ruined the team for making them work, I left my notice at my manager's desk. For the last 3 months of my notice, I've been working extremely hard, giving my 150%. Our higher-ups raised monthly targets 3 times already and will do it once again. But this time they will not achieve them. They have never achieved them before I came. Petty? Very much. Do I care? No. For everything they've done to me, they deserve it. People aged 25 to 40 that act like a bunch of lazy high school bullies. The next story is called 33%. I had a trophy wife client who had a frozen yogurt business paid for by her husband. They contacted me and asked me to design and build a new website for her business. I gave them a quote and they asked if they could pay in 3 installments. After we all agreed to the terms, I had written approval and I received my 33% deposit. I got cracking. We had regular check-ins and they were happy with the progress until one day they just went quiet. They were already behind on the second payment and I was growing impatient. I was done with the site and just needed final approval and payment before launching it, but I couldn't get a hold of either of them. I eventually got hold of the lady at her day job after weeks of being ghosted. She calmly told me that they found someone cheaper and that they won't be paying the remaining 66% even though the project was complete and all the feedback was addressed. She told me that I could just give her 33% of the files and move on with my life. I made it clear that websites don't really work if you only upload 33% of the files, sarcastically, at which point she hung up the phone. I still had their FTP details for their brand domain that housed their current, old website, so I decided to take revenge. I created a page with an animated fake loading bar that was stuck at 33%. Underneath the loading bar was the message, "This company does not pay their suppliers." They decided to pay only a third of the price, so now they have only a third of our website. I went as far as to download the website files, split them up in roughly 3 portions, file size, and upload a zip folder containing a third of the files to the FTP folder. This way, I actually gave them the 33% they paid for and I could show the file size to prove it. I also permanently deleted the old site's files from the folder so they couldn't restore from a backup. Not that they would have a clue how to do that. They threatened to sue me. I'm still waiting. The third story is called Don't Know Us. This happened when I was doing my masters. I had to move overseas for the field of study I had chosen. It was pretty lonely at first, but then I found out that some people I studied with in high school came to the same university. In the first month, I ran into Jacob, a guy from my school. We made eye contact and he just walked away. Strange, but I guessed he was busy with something, so whatever. I met up with one of the guys from my high school group and as we are talking, we bump into Jacob. He again makes eye contact with us and walks away. This time I try to call out to him, but my friend Henry stops me. Apparently, Jacob has been doing that to pretty much everyone in my high school group. Someone else back at home sent us a screenshot where he claimed to be lonely because he was stuck with a bunch of retards at uni. To be honest, that was kind of rude because all I wanted to do was hang out and not reenact High School 2.0, but it was his opinion, so you do you. This actually continues for my entire duration of the study and it was frankly stupid and he was making things so awkward for all of us. Then comes the last semester. We have to do our project exhibition just for the uni to showcase the R&D stuff happening to people coming for tours to try to get some of that sweet student loan money. The graded one was to be held a week later. I was lucky to have a couple of good friends and 2 guys from my high school as teammates, so things go pretty smooth. On the day of the project exhibition, all of us are busy editing PowerPoints and Word documents in the library when Jacob freaking approaches us after 2 years of avoiding us. He had apparently forgotten to bring his laptop from home and just wanted to borrow one of ours for 2 minutes. We told him that he could use the PCs here, to which he says he isn't allowed to use them anymore. We again told him to call his teammate or something, but apparently they were running late and he needed it urgently. He then uses his Speech 100 skill and says that friends should help each other out in times of need and that he would do the same for us if we were in his situation. The audacity. I snapped and said, "Sorry, but I don't even know you, man. It would be stupid to risk my project just for a rando," and got back to my work. Everyone was shocked. Jacob then looked at the other two people he knew and they just shrugged. Jacob then stormed away, calling us retards under his breath, which made us burst out laughing. Every now and then I could hear Jacob in the background asking someone for their laptop, and I seriously doubt he got any. You see, Jacob had earned a reputation of being a grade A prankster, and him asking for a laptop at that time seemed to be a textbook prank. The cherry on the cake was that after the exhibition I heard that something spicy happened during Jacob's presentation. Apparently none of his team shows up on time, so he got our teacher's laptop at literally the last minute and decided to ring it on his own. When he plugged in the projector, he had his mail displayed for everyone to see while he looked for the PowerPoint. He had lots of mails from multiple adult websites asking him to renew his subscription, and someone from the crowd shouted, "Bro, who pays for that?" and everyone laughed at that. This exhibition had no marks, we just did it for fun, so nothing major happened. But Jacob had like minus 10,000 social credits, and whenever people, even freshmen, saw him, they'd ask if they could borrow his account for an hour. The last story is called "Not Gonna Help With That." My daughter's birthday is coming up, and I remembered this lovely event. Before my wife got pregnant, I took a job with a temp agency that told me the position was temp to hire. While I was working there, we found out we were expecting. To make a long story short, they cut my pay, refused to find a new work location, lied about the length of my contract, and then stopped taking my calls. I was told my contract would end right on December 31st. My wife and I talked it over, and we decided that since my daughter was due at the end of January, I would just take some time off to be with her and then help with the baby. On the 21st of December, I was advised that the 23rd was my last day. Confused, I called the temp agency and was told they ended my contract early, so they would not have to pay half a week. No, they did not have a new contract for me and asked if I knew how to file for unemployment. Screw it, I left and spent some of the best times with my wife. 2 weeks later, I get a call from the temp agency telling me they need to run a credit check for me and ask for W-2s so they could run it. No problem, some job is better than no job. So we rushed out and faxed them over. The next day he called again, telling me they needed more info. So I emailed him what I had. Again, this was not good enough, and he asked me to sign a waiver so they could get all the info. I asked him what the job was that needed this much info. Turned out they never completed my background check when I got hired, and now they are facing a HIPAA audit and they are trying to catch up. I laughed and told him no. After this we did not hear anything for a couple of weeks. Then our daughter was born. The hospital decided that our daughter was not gaining enough weight, so every day for a week we had to take her in to be checked at 8 AM. So going on no sleep, we had to bundle her up, I put the wife in the car and fight for parking at our local hospital. Of course, that week is when the dude from the temp agency starts calling while I'm trying to find a parking place at the hospital. Now he is begging me to fill out the form. On the first day I tried to be nice, advised I was tired from being up and down all night with a newborn and told him I gave him all the information I had. The next day he calls again. I told him they screwed me over and I really did not feel like helping him out. After a particularly rough night, I dropped off my wife and started my slog to find a parking spot. He calls again. This time he tells me, "Look, I did not want to have to say this, but if I do not get this from you, I am going to get fired." I was annoyed at this point and said, "I can tell you how to file for unemployment," and hung up and then blocked the number. Sure, it was petty, but felt good. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.